Hi guys, okay, today I'm going to be doing a recipe for you because I promised you a recipe. I'm going to be doing a peanut butter chocolate chip muffin. Because it is sweet, it could be considered a cupcake, but because I put a streusel on it, I call it a muffin. So I will put the recipe down below and I will show you what I am putting in it and how I prepare it. First off, let's get your oven preheating to 350 degrees. These are the basic ingredients for the muffin mixture, and these are going to be the mixture items for the streusel topping. You will need to be using a stand mixer or even a bowl with like a really good hand mixer and beaters because you need it to beat very well and become very smooth batter. So in your I have a stand mixer that my husband got me last year for Christmas and I'm loving it because I can make things a lot easier. You're going to put 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Sorry, I have to look at the recipe also myself. You're going to put the 1 cup of flour, a 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. If you don't know what packed means, it means you put the brown sugar in and you squeeze it down so it's nice and tightly into your measuring cup. And then you're also going to add baking powder, baking soda, and salt into the mixture. So it's basically all the dry ingredients first. And you get those mixing into the mixer to get them well combined. And then into that, you're going to add a 1/2 cup of milk, 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of peanut butter, which I use creamy because it comes out a little bit smooth. They come smoother. If you want to use crunchy and get that crunchy texture, go for it. It's probably going to come out just as good. And then also 2 tablespoons of softened butter that you leave out and let it come to room temperature. When you stick your finger down, it just barely pushes. If your finger goes through it, it's too soft. And you're going to have to start all over. You can't just refrigerate it and redo it. You're going to have to start with a new stick of butter because I have done that in the past and the texture of the muffin just does not come out the same. So into these dry ingredients, I'm going to add all of the items that I just said. And you're going to beat this on low for 1 minute to get everything combined. And then you're going to knock your mixer up to probably about the 3 or 4, about a low, medium speed to get it all smooth and well combined. Okay, I got everything in there. Let's get it going. While this is mixing, I'm going to get some liners for my cupcake pan. I prefer to use liners because they come out nice and smooth and easily, and you can share them a lot easier. You don't have to use liners if you don't want to, but I would, if you're not going to, make sure you grease your pan very, very well. It's going to be a little loud while I mix this, so let me go ahead and get those liners going. Walmart does sell, turn this down. Walmart does sell cupcake liners in little packages for $1. I mean, these ones are cute. They got little flip-flops on them. So you can easily get liners. Or you can even use parchment paper, just cut them out and get like a small cup that would fit into your cupcake pan and push it around and it'll make a nice natural homemade liner. And then again, you can also use Crisco, butter, baker's spray, anything to get them out if you don't want to use the paper. Keep an eye on your mix, that way you don't over mix it because then the batter becomes dense and really heavy. And always, anytime you're using a stand mixer, make sure you stop in between and scrape down the whisk attachment, or if you use a paddle attachment, just scrape down the paddle attachment and always scrape down the sides of your bowl. That way everything gets very well incorporated into your batter. It's still kind of lumpy. I'm going to let it go for another minute or so. Sorry if this is kind of an odd My kitchen isn't very good for filming, and I'm trying to still get the use of using my camera and where to position it to where you can get everything into one shot. Any suggestions you have, leave them down in the comments, let me know, because I am still learning how to do YouTube, and I would like to improve my videos so you guys get better quality, so you can see what I'm doing a lot easier. Okay, this looks good to go. So I'm going to take my whisk attachment off and make sure to get all the batter off of the whisk into the bowl. Just use a spatula, or if you've washed your hands, you can use your finger to get it off the whisk. Okay. And then you always want to just make sure to give it a stir to make sure it is all well incorporated and you get a nice smooth batter. So then you're going to, I prefer to use a ice cream scoop because I know I'll get even muffins and cupcakes every time. You don't have to, but this is how I prefer to do it. Most people just spoon it into their liners and say, okay, yeah, that looks good. But I prefer to have even amounts of everything. That way everybody gets an even portion. So you're just going to take all of this, and it does, this recipe is a very small recipe. It will make 6 muffins, 6 very big muffins. So you just take it and see, I just evenly get some in the ice cream scoop, and you can just smack it right down or push the little thing and it goes right down into the liner nice and easily and evenly without making a huge mess. You can get an ice cream scoop pretty much at any store that sells them. My husband got me one from one of his old jobs. He just brought it home from work. I know if you have a restaurant supply store near you, they do sell these. This is what we use at my work actually when we make our muffins, because that's the best way to, like I said, get even portions. Now once you get the first 5 done, you just got to scrape the sides of the bowl down because peanut butter is in the batter, so it is sticky. And I just scrape the sides with a spatula and put it into the last liner because that's pretty much an even amount. And then sometimes I will just take my cupcake tin, bang it on the counter a couple times just to make sure that there's no air bubbles underneath the mixture. That way you get an even, it bakes evenly and it doesn't bubble over too much. Okay, now that those are done, we are going to make our Struesel mixture. For the Struesel mixture, you are going to need 1.5 tablespoons of cubed cold butter. It has to be cold, otherwise it does not mix properly. So just get 1.5 tablespoons, and just, it'll be a little square, it makes it easy to cube. Just take like a steak knife, a butter knife, a paring knife, any sharp knife that you can get nice, even. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, just get nice squares. And make sure you're not handling the butter too much because you don't want it to get warm, because otherwise the Struesel will not come out good. Okay, so I got my butter in my bowl. It's just a little tiny like cereal size bowl. And what I'm going to do is add a 1/4 cup of flour, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. This one does not have to be packed because it's just a little topping for on top. So you put that in with the cubed butter. And I use a pastry blender. It's a little round thing. It has these on the end. It just makes it easier to get in there without touching the butter with my hands and getting it too warm. And you want to do this as quickly as possible because, like I said, if the butter gets too warm, it messes with the consistency and your Struesel will not come out right. So you just mix this around. You take a knife and kind of run it over the back when the butter gets stuck. Because some pastry cutters, mine doesn't have the sharp edge, but some, like the one my mother has, if you use your finger like this, you can cut your finger. Because back in the day when they first made the pastry cutters, they made them very sharp so they can cut through butter. I guess that's where the saying cuts like butter comes from, maybe? I don't know. Okay, get it it just takes a couple minutes, not even, maybe less than a minute to get it combined. It does not have to be perfect. Again, you want it to be little crumbles like this. And then you're going to take 2 tablespoons of chopped chocolate chips. I have Ghirardelli chocolate chips that I just stuck in my mini food processor and chopped them up really good. You don't want it too finely chopped, but you don't want them to be too chunky. So you take those, and I got a little spatula to just gently mix it around. Kind of almost looks like it would be a cookies and cream topping, the way the colors are. And the chocolate makes it smell so good in here already, and I haven't even put anything in the oven. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to take your streusel topping and sprinkle about a tablespoon on top of each muffin, because you want it to bake into the muffin because the butter will give it some more moisture. And you don't have to be perfect with it, like I'm getting it everywhere. It will make quite a bit of streusel, but that's okay because it's better to have too much and not enough. So generously sprinkle each muffin with the streusel. It will look like this once you've done that. You're going to stick them in the oven at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes. My oven, it usually takes about 16.5 minutes. And then once they have finished, you just take a knife, a toothpick, or anything to stick them in the middle and make sure it comes out clean. I have an actual thing that says cake tester. I got this, I believe, at Hobby Lobby for like $2. It had a cupcake on it, and I love cupcakes. It's the whole theme of my kitchen, so I had to, of course, buy it. Plus, it's a lot easier. You just wash it with soap and water, and you use it every time. Once they come out of the oven, you will want to take them out of the pan and put them on a wire rack to cool. This is what they look like when they come out. They're nice and big portion muffins. They have the streusel on top. It looks really yummy. You just have to take the liner off, and you'll see how delicious and golden brown they are on the bottom, nice and perfectly cooked. Like I said, my oven, it was about 16.5 minutes or so. So let's see, the inside is nice and peanut butter golden brown because they are peanut butter. So good. And peanut butter, very powerful taste, but it's a nice, soft, fluffy cupcake. Or muffin, my bad. So that is one of my many muffin recipes I have. If you would like to see more recipes, go ahead and leave suggestions in the comments below, and I will try and see how I can get them done. I do have a blackberry muffin recipe I do want to try and show you. It is so good and is my most popular muffin recipe from my friends, most requested. Maybe next weekend I will try and do like a dinner recipe of some sort. Not really sure which one yet. If you know my recipes, go ahead and comment below which one you would like to see, and I might be picking your comment next. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of it, and I will see you guys next weekend. Bye.